Hello boys and girls, we've come to the final unit of English in this term. It's unit number 4 and it's titled A Woman with a Heart of Gold. Some people are compassionate towards animals. They are not animal lovers. They don't want to keep a lot of pets and take care of them. But some people are real animal lovers. They are compassionate towards animals. They are very knowledgeable about animals. They even are passionate about taking care of animals. In this lesson, we meet one such person. Her name is Jane Goodall. Jane was born in London in the year 1934. When she was a child, her father gifted her a soft toy of a chimpanzee. She instantly fell in love with chimpanzees, and that sparked her deep love for animals. She would dream that she would go to Africa, which is rich with exotic wildlife. As destiny would have it, Jane's passion for animals was spotted by a paleontologist who sent her to study animal behavior in a university. She was later sent to the Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania to study the animal behavior of primates, especially of chimpanzees. This was not an easy job. It was not all fun, but Jane wouldn't quit, and the rest is history. Jane studied chimpanzees so well that her findings were revolutionary. The scientists came to know about a lot of facts about chimpanzees for the first time through her study. In the year 1977, Jane established the Jane Goodall Institute for further research in this area. They also have a youth program called Roots and Shoots. She is an ambassador for the ethical treatment of chimpanzees. She also raises awareness about the endangered wild chimpanzees. Did you know that she even wrote a children's book called The Chimpanzees Family Book? She is awarded and recognized so many times by the government and international bodies. You know what? She is today the only human that was accepted into a chimpanzee community. After reading this passage, which I hope you do now, it's my hope that you would want to know more about ethical treatment of animals and also to know more about people like Jane Goodall who have contributed in this area. Now, let's move on to the vocabulary section. There are words taken from the passage that could be new to you. What you do with them is to understand the meanings and also try and use them in your own sentences. Let's look at a couple of them. Startled. The meaning of startled is to be shocked. Let's use that in a sentence. Her knowledge in science startled me. The next one is unethical. It means not correct morally. Let's use that in a sentence. We have to stand up against unethical treatment of animals. On page 41, we have an exercise that helps us to learn about the names of certain professions. Some hints are given there and we have to find the apt word. Let's look at it. 1. A person who studies geology. It is geologist. 2. A person who studies history. Historian. A person who studies birds. Ornithologist. 4th. A person who studies or teaches mathematics. Easy, mathematician. 5. A person who studies animals. Any guesses? Zoologist. Number 6. A person who studies God and religion. Theologian. 7. A person who studies the origin and nature of the universe. Cosmologist. 8. A person who studies living things and their environment. Ecologist. We move on to another exercise where you have to make up sentences based on the words that are given there. Then we find a comprehension section. There are questions based on the passage and you have to try and answer all of them. If you have to write them and practice, do that as well. Let's move to the grammar section now. Under the grammar section, you have pronouns to learn in this lesson. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used in the place of the noun. Example, I, me, he, she, they. Pronouns can be singular or plural. On page 43, there is an exercise where you can practice this concept of pronouns. You have to fill in the blanks with the correct pronouns. Go ahead and do that. Now, let's learn about the types of pronouns. 4 types of pronouns have been discussed in this lesson. Let's look at them one by one. One is personal pronoun. A personal pronoun is a pronoun that denotes a person, animal, place or thing. Example, it, he, she, they. The second category is relative pronouns. These pronouns do not replace the nouns. Instead, they refer to the noun that was already spoken about in the sentence. I'll give you an example. This is the story that I talked about yesterday. Here the noun is story. And I use the word that to refer back to the noun story. So that is the relative pronoun. Other examples are which, who, whose, what, that, etc. The third category is reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are personal pronouns coupled with the words self or selves, depending on whether they are singular or plural forms. I'll give you an example. Don't make a fool of yourself. Yourself is a reflexive pronoun. They did the work themselves. Now, themselves is plural form of a reflexive pronoun. Moving on to the last category, they are called emphatic pronouns. Now, emphatic pronouns are reflexive pronouns that are used in addition to a noun. I'll give you an example. The lady herself drove the car. The lady is a noun. Herself is a reflexive pronoun. They are used together. So the reflexive pronoun, when used with another noun, it becomes an emphatic pronoun. It is giving an emphasis to the noun that is in the sentence. Now, there is an exercise that is based on this concept. Let's look at that. It is found on page 44. I am going to help you with the first 4. As you can see, we have to pick out the right pronoun and also say what kind of pronoun it is. Let's look at the first one. I dash have completed the project. Myself or ourselves? This is easy. I myself have completed the project. What is the kind of pronoun myself? It is emphatic because there is already a noun called I. Shweta dash says so. Herself or themselves? Herself. Shweta herself says so. What kind of pronoun is this? This is also emphatic because Shweta is already the noun there and herself is a reflexive pronoun so as to emphasize Shweta. So it becomes an emphatic pronoun. Third one. You will hurt dash badly if you are not careful. Yourself or yourselves? I think this is a little bit tricky. Depends on what form you is used as. If it's singular, if you are talking to one person, you can say you will hurt yourself. But if you are talking to a group of people, you can say you will hurt yourselves. In either way, we can say that this is a reflexive pronoun. Moving on to the fourth one. It was Ramesh dash repaired the broken pipe. It was Ramesh who repaired the broken pipe. Who is a relative pronoun. We've come to the close of this lesson. As always, it ends with a communication section with activities based on listening, speaking, and writing. Go ahead and practice. Practice makes perfect. Happy learning!